like being in the octagon that your city's cheering you on? How did that feel?
Oh my God, it was the most electrifying moment of my life. I mean, I'm so used to walking in enemy territory. We've got such a boisterous bunch of dogs out there. You know, we were going crazy, and I had my boys out there from day one, hoist me up afterwards. The whole experience was surreal. It was amazing to be in my home, literally in my dome, in my domicile, and just doing my thing. And that fight was a landmark for me too. So it was surreal. It was amazing.
I know you had stressed coming in, patience, and not letting the fight play out a little bit. Is that what we saw in there tonight? Or
yeah, I mean that was almost like you might say that was a complete contradiction of my prior style. I went out there and above all, I adhered to a plan. I adhered to my coaches. It was the most physically and mentally composed I'd ever felt in there, listening to everything. I was hyper aware. I could hear all the voices, and so fighting a guy like Hernandez, who's entirely counter striker. He's a gritty counter striker, real heavy hips. I felt those. I had to draw him out and just pick my exchanges, pick my shots, and win the little battles that would compile over the course. So, again, it was a huge growth marker in my career as a fighter.
How much of it was a struggle as the fight was playing out to not revert to that, like, let's just go?
There were a couple times where I wanted to, kind of blast him or hit some blitz attacks and some angles, but I composed. He might catch a lick, This eye of mine is getting kind of Diaz-like, it seems. I'm not a fan of that, but I maybe caught like a toe or something that kind of opened me up, and my reflex was almost to tag him back, but I sat back, got my composure, held down the center, and went back to work, and that's all I was. In between rounds, I had a distinction of just wanting to get up and get back to work, as opposed to like, okay, let me go get that back, or let me go try to wrap this up. I feel him, I see him, he's not presenting anything new, and he's a simple target, but we just got to be patient because his counters are deadly.
The media scores were all over the place. It was a tight fight. You
Yeah.
and your team, how did you guys have it scored? How certain were you were going to win?
It was gritty. I'm my own biggest critic, so if I don't have an overwhelming blowout, I'm pretty difficult on myself, so I'm probably the worst person to ask. When they were announcing, I couldn't hear them very well, and I thought they were saying his ring name, Maras. Yeah, Maras. That's what I heard coming out, and that's why I had that kind of, lack of energy to me. I had a negative demeanor because I thought I heard that, and then it somehow rounded it from an M to the great, and I was like, bam, baby, we're back, let's go. But no, I could have seen that. I'm so critical, so I'd have to run back and look at the tape. But I knew I was winning exchanges. I was hoping that the judges weren't counting certain knees or little things that weren't making contact with my face or brushing my shoulders, and I was hitting to the body. And so I was hoping that they were seeing the shots that were landing and that weren't. And yeah, I'm happy with it.
Last thing for me, where do you go from here? What do you want next?
Always up, baby. Always up. Up the totem pole. I don't care about size, shape, or style. I don't care about any names. It's just my name, and it's always me versus me, and they're featuring whomever. So just get me on that totem pole and let me keep climbing it. That's it.
Alex, you promised us that after the Cerrone fight, the biggest change you made was your composure. You looked very composed out there.
Yes,
How'd
sir.
you feel?
The most evidently composed I'd ever felt mentally, physically. I implemented a game plan that we rehearsed, and it was I kind of hit a scary moment after the Cerrone fight, because it wasn't a matter of I got to improve physically on some skills, some strengths. It was, how the hell do I rewire this software of mine? How do I change my entire demeanor, my entire approach? How do I become this composed, patient fighter? And I feel like we exemplified that tonight. And so despite any kind of like single round knockout or the blowout finishes I always enjoy, just getting out there, point fighting, winning the exchanges, and going on a 3-round war, feeling energetic as can be, and with a torn labrum, I feel pretty damn good. I feel great.
In the first round, it was difficult to find openings because he just wasn't really willing to engage. First of all, how frustrating was that? And second, what did your corner tell you after the first round?
We just had to reiterate the patience. We knew going into the fight that's how he was going to be. He's a veteran, he's gritty, and he's composed, and he sits back and he'll just sit, and he won't throw a shot, and he'll just wait for those counter shots. I've got a compadre back home, in the gym, who we had lined up just like that. He's also an excellent counter striker, and he was emulating a lot of those same tendencies. So we were ready for that. We were ready for him to be entirely counter-based, throwing those overhands, being really, really difficult to draw out, and then having those heavy hips. And again, I was happy. I had to test my right shoulder tonight, and that's kind of my money maker in my mind. So, going the way it did and not being able to utilize it to the fullest, I'm very happy with the exchange of things.
What's the name of that training partner? some shine on him?
Oh, Washington Lutz. Yeah, he's the best Brazilian I know on the feet, baby. Yeah, he's Washington Lutz. He's a world-class champ out of Brazil. He's a Muay Thai and kickboxing striker or champion, and he's been kind of my doppelganger for the fight.
I got one more question for you. Other than your composure, your movement looked amazing. I know that you work with Jason Kilgore on your movement a lot.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that training.
Yeah, no, every day working. Kilgore's a master of mobility, and I'm his #1 disciple. So we are keen on our movement, and we move like nobody else. You know, I've got a brilliant line of coaches between Jason Yarrington, John O'Rourke, and Jason Kilgore. Excellent management of Jason House, and I've just got a dynasty behind me. So, approaching these fighters, especially somebody, despite having all that experience, he's a rudimentary fighter, and the way that we move, the way we approach things are different, and we're continually evolving.
Did you feel any pressure tonight because playing in front of your city, and if so, how did you prepare for that mentally?
No, I'm telling you. I mean, I felt electrified. It was amazing having that energy. I'm so used to walking into enemy territory that having that crowd behind me was ecstatic. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing to put an emphatic stamp on the UFC for San Antonio, and having my people behind me. It was amazing.
It seemed like at one point the fans got a little frustrated that it wasn't as action-packed
Sure.
as they like. Did that affect you at all? Did you?
No, I'm telling you, we were ready for it all, and so I knew it was going to be that kind of a fight with him. He's going to sit back, and that this is his fight, and I've watched him as an experienced fighter evolve into that, because he used to press more also. And then you've seen in his last few fights, especially the Dunham one where he got that TKO, sitting back and waiting, and Dunham would press, finally timed him, took him out. So I had to be extremely cautious. I knew it was going to be a point system fight, and if I got the shot, I got the shot. But regardless, this was a stepping stone. I knew this was going to be a stepping stone, but I proved something to myself that I can be composed, I can be patient, and I can continue to evolve. And I adapt like no one else in this game.
Just one more. I want to
Go
add,
ahead.
we all keep talking about composure and how I feel like you were relaxed and you were enjoying it. Tell us a little bit about it.
100%. It's more so than I think I've ever enjoyed any one of them. A lot of times I feel like I'm going in there expecting just to wipe them out and almost looking to get it over with. This one I knew, again, we're gonna win the exchanges. We're gonna win his chin in the first exchange. And so going out there, I remember getting off the bench after the first one, feeling great, full body of energy, and just thinking I'm ready to get back to work. I'm ready to get to the tactician side of things and pick them apart. So I felt brilliant out there as far as my cardio and my mindset.
Are you gonna celebrate?
We're going to get trashed at Paramore. If everybody wants to come out, the dogs are eating tonight. Paramore after party, all of San Antonio will be there. San Antonio Zone representing.